Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today I'm going to plant out some onion sets, and if you saw the way I mulch this bed, go back to one of my chicken composting videos, the November garden tour and compost tour, and you'll see me getting the chicken compost out of the chicken pen and putting it down. I had a couple of comments at the time asking about the size of the wood chips. Some people were asking that wood chips didn't seem ready. Now, if I can zoom you into here, then I'll show you what's happened with that wood chips. So this is all that wood chips, and on top of that I piled manure.
That horse manure.
Yeah. So if I keep going down, that's what's left of the wood chips. So just in a matter of being in the chicken house, chicken run, and being here for a few months, that's what it's turned into. So now what I'm going to do is, I won't plant straight into the wood chips, because one of the things with planting straight into wood chips is, especially when it's not broken down, is that the nutrients, the plants can't get to the nutrients. So this is what I do, is I use those wood chips as a soil cover, as a mulch, and that'll slowly break down. So now I've made this little furrow. I'm going to take some of my garden compost, and I'm going to fill this up.
Can you get the worm?
No, the worm can stay in there.
Oh.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Eating.
Can you go and finish then? As soon as you finish, you can come and help me. So this is the compost that I've made, and this is the finished compost. And into this line is where I'm going to plant my sets. For the sets, I could have actually used something a little bit rougher than this, because this is quite refined. It's sieved off a couple of times. So I could have actually used something that's a little bit thicker and a bit more coarse. But because there's a lot of wood chips already down here, I thought I'd use the fine stuff. I will definitely use the finer stuff when I plant the seedlings. With the sets, you can get away with planting something that's a little bit coarser, but with the finer stuff, that you definitely, with the more delicate seedlings, you definitely need something that's a little bit finer. So I'll show you these sets. These are Onion Turbo, and it's quite amazing actually, because they're all in one packet. You've got so many different sizes. Now, I've always found that the smaller onions do better. You know, the smaller sets, they actually do better than the bigger onions. So the way I'm going to plant them is, I'm going to plant them just so the tip is sticking out, and then what I'll do is I'll add a little bit, I'll pull the mulch back over the top, and I'm not going to plant them that far apart. It is quite rich soil, so all I'm going to do is about 4 inches apart. I'm going to plant them. There we go. See there, again, people will tell you not to plant that. I see no issue with that, because what's going to happen is the outside of the onion rots anyway, and it's from the middle where you get a new plant, where the leaves come up, and then that forms the bulb. The outside rots away anyway, so it doesn't. That won't make a difference. So I'll put that into here. Once the rows are made, it's really quite a quick process. It doesn't take long at all. So we'll just carry on planting these. These aren't expensive onion bulbs. These are quite cheap. I think they were about £3 or £4 for 3 packets. So that's all they are. Look, there's plastic everywhere. sometimes you just don't know where it comes from. So all I'm doing is I'm peeling the mulch back. And if you think about it, in nature, the forest floor, there is some element of roughing it up. It's not always, like how a lot of no diggers will tell you that never ever even dig and never ever even mess with the mulch. If you think about the forest floor is, there's constantly animals in there, there's constant mice and little creatures burrowing, there is constant movement. I'm not saying I'm not trying to suggest that it's anywhere like digging, because quite clearly it's not. But there is, at least at the surface level, there is a lot of, there is some kind of movement going on. So that's what I try and mimic. Have you got a worm? Don't lean on me. Don't lean on me. Don't lean on me. Don't lean on me. You know you're not supposed to be leaning on me. Again, little diddy worms like little diddy onions like that. They're going in as well. I'm not.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Eat that onion. I wanna do it. I wanna get a bucket of worms and I'll find worms.
Now I am planting these onions under my gourd arch. So the idea is, see, as soon as I pull this layer up, they'll get covered up. See, they're automatically getting covered up with the mulch. Those ones. So you plant that one there. Do you know? Yeah, that's perfect. Which side's the top?
This side.
Yes. Push it a little bit in. That's it. Yeah.
I'll push him.
No, it's okay.
This was a little push.
Play will give him a push.
But how can you push him a little bit?
So. Yeah, go on.
Here.
No, wrong way around. Turn it around. A bit further on. There. That's a bit too much. That's fine. Come on.
How about here?
Go that way.
Here.
No, you just planted one there.
No, here. Oh, yeah. Here.
Go in front of me. No, go and stand on that side. Good girl. Okay. Come on. Let's meet in the middle. You start on the end. Start on the end. We'll meet in the middle. Okay?
Like this?
Yeah. No, just push it in. That's it. All you have to do is just push it in.
Are you sitting on that horse manure?
Am I sitting on the horse manure?
You're sitting in the hospital.
So when I was talking about this is not exactly back to Eden. It's not exactly back to Eden, because what back to Eden would have done is they would have let the wood chips keep mulching down, and just plant into the wood chips. Whereas this is not my technique, because it takes a little bit more for wood chips to break down in our climate. It's a little bit more tricky. takes a little bit more for it to break down in our climate, and that's why with this line of compost in the middle, while the wood chips are breaking down, you're growing in the compost, and then next year you're going to be doing the same thing, and each time you're just going to keep feeding the soil, the whole thing. So it's an adaptive technique out of just using the back to Eden style, but it's been adapted for our climate. So it's not going to be a big issue burying the tops of those onions. The tops of those onions are poked through very quickly. And as I move the mulch back, I'm just putting it over the top, just making sure that it goes over the top here. And with this process, every year I add fresh mulch to the top.
Which mulch? Where'd you get that mulch from?
Where do I get the mulch from? I make it in the chicken compost system, or I use fresh wood chips, and I use the smaller particles of the fresh wood chips, and I use the bigger rough compost. I use all that as mulch. Then take the mulch and just cover everything up again, and that's it. Job's a good one. And there are onions planted. So that's a patch of onions planted, and hopefully they'll be ready to harvest just as we're starting to plant in our squash. So I'll leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.